We're now going to look at how one or two of the exercises in Career Weaver work, just to give you a sense of how the processes go. So here we are live on the web. The values of work and the motivations exercises, for example, they have very similar methodologies. And anything here that's in a colored screen is background reading or instructions about what to do in the exercise. Some have got a little bit of pre-work or pre-thinking before you get going. And all the exercises have a little timer here that shows you roughly how long we expect it to take before you're capturing your reflections. And most of them really, it's kind of 5-10 minutes work or so on. So here with the values, for example, we've given you a language to work with of 23 different terms and tools. And the first task is to reduce that number down to a manageable number. And what we have here is the chance that you can park something that you feel quite neutral about, if it's not something you particularly care about. But if there's something that you really don't want within your preferences as well, then you can also choose to swipe left, which will turn it red in the system as well. And so we go through this exercise until we're down to our last state. I mentioned in the first video that some of our exercises encourage you to work intuitively. We want you to work quickly quite often with these. We don't want to think our way to the final answers, but we want to tap into our kind of instinctive selves. So the strengths exercise, for example, again, we're giving you a language to work with. And I actually think it takes perhaps 1 or 2 minutes only to get through to the end point where you're reflecting. And what we've given you in each one of these is just, a term with definitions if you need it. And we just want you to simply self-rank yourself on this. We've deliberately not put a scale on this because, again, we don't want you to overthink this. And you just click through, putting it roughly where you feel that's about right. And you just quickly go through all 48 of the different exercises until you've finished, at which point it will reflect back to you the work that you've been doing in the form of a word cloud. And then there's some questions here along the side to help you reflect and work with what you've put into the tool. With all of the exercises, the final stage is a reflective one where you can click up and open and add your own thoughts and reflections in here. And so here, a quick look at the STAR skills exercise. This is useful because it uses the kind of framework that you might use to prepare and structure interview answers as well. So what you're capturing here is useful both for your reflection, but also in preparation for being a better job applicant. And that's one of the important things that we're looking at here in Career Weaver is not just taking ownership of what's important to us, but getting better at talking about it as well. So this exercise you can spend a lot longer on, but as I said, you're building good content that you might use in applications when preparing for interviews. Effectively, what we've got is we've got examples of each of the eight core employability skills that we talk about here at Oxford. And the idea is that each one of these pages allows you to build 4 separate examples that come from your own experience and that you might talk about in an interview. And the idea is that you use the STAR framework to outline situation, where were you, what were you doing, the task at hand, and then what you did, what actions you took, and the result at the end of it.